Calculate the volume of a solid cylinder. Radius, height is given. Volume of cylinder, pi r square h, that's the formula. Put in the radius, put it in the height, put in the calculator, that is your answer. Correct your answer into 3 sig fig, final answer. Next one. Volume of a hemisphere, so this is not a sphere but hemisphere, half of the sphere, so make sure there's a 1/2 before you times the volume of a sphere, 4/3 pi r cube. Put in the radius, that is your equation, put into your calculator, that's your answer, correct to 3 sig fig, 452 as final answer. Okay, next one. Now the hemisphere and the cylinder are combined and joined to form a compound solid in the diagram. So we know that 1 cm cube is the same as 7.85 gram, that is the ratio. Show that 1 cm cube is the same as 0.00785 kg. So how do you show? Just convert gram to kg. So you're going to divide 1000 from gram and that you have a kg. That's how you show. Okay, show full working steps. So now we are finding the total mass. This is the volume of cylinder, volume of cylinder, volume of hemisphere. Sum it up, that's the volume of the compound solid, and we are changing the volume into the mass by multiply, follow the ratio of 1 cm cube to 0.00785 kg. So we multiply it, your answer will be in kg. Okay, write the exact value, that's the answer for kg. Okay, this one. 2000 cm cube of iron, you have to understand that this is referring to the volume and it's melted down, so it will be a liquid. So 2000 cm cube of iron into a liquid is going to be used, 2000 cm cube, to form 50 sphere with one of the sphere of radius 2 cm. So there's 50 sphere. So one of the radius is 2 cm. So calculate the percentage of iron that's left over. Before you calculate the percentage of iron of left over, you need to know how many has been used, right? How much has been used. So we started with volume of a sphere, 4/3 pi r cube, put in the value for radius, keep your answer in pi. Why? Because if you keep your answer in pi, this is not the final answer, right? Your final answer will be more precise, okay? So keep your answer in pi for now. That's volume for one sphere, times 50, that's the volume of 50 sphere, okay? So if I want to calculate the leftover, I will have the original minus the part that has been used. So that is the volume that is left. So volume that is left over the original volume, 2000, times 100%, that is the percentage of leftover. So that will be 16.2% for leftover. So the iron leftover, which is 324.484, is then made into a cube. If you look into a cube, the length is the same as the width, as the same as the base, so let it be x, and the volume of a cube is x cube in this case. So x cube is the volume, and it's the same as 324.484. So if I were to find the edge, the length of the edge, I just have to cube root on both sides. That will give you 6.87, that's the answer. Okay, we go on. This is a little bit more complicated. So we have a cone, radius 3r, height 9r. So this is not the height, this is a slanting height, and not the vertical height. Cylinder with a radius x cm and height 7x cm. What you know, how do you form the equation is the total surface area of a cone is equal to the total surface of a cylinder. So this is the information. Surface area of a cone is the same as surface area of a cylinder. So you must be very familiar with the formula. This is the curved surface part is given, pi rl, but there's also a circle at the base, so pi r square. So this is the total surface area of a cone. Cylinder, 2 circle, so 2 pi r squared. And the curved surface is 2 pi r h. That's the formula. So this is your formula. And then you replace your r with 3r. Oh, there should be a square here. And r is 3r, l is 9r, r is x, h is 7x. Okay, that is your equations. Later I will show you how do we simplify it. Okay, given that r equals to kx, find the value of k. Okay, let's see how we can simplify it. Things to be take note, right? When you square this part, you must square the 3 as well. So now I have 3 squared, 9 pi r squared. 3 times 9, 27, r squared. Two pi x squared. 14x squared, 28, sorry, not 14, 7x squared, 14x squared. 14 pi x squared. Next step, we collect the like terms. 9, 27, like terms, right? Combine. Okay. Like terms, right? Combine. Okay. R equals to kx. Oh, I can make r a subject if I want to. Okay, so I bring this to the other side. R squared equals to this. Okay, can I simplify it? 1636 divided by 2 divided by 4, 4 over 9x squared. That's for r squared. So if I want to make r as a subject, square root both sides. So r equals to 2 over 3x. Compared to this, r equals to kx. Find the value of k. So if I compare to r equals to kx, obviously you can tell k equals to 2 over 3. Alright, that's for question 1. Question 2, correct to nearest 10. So look at this. So do I round it off? No, it's less than 5. So it's just 0 here. 2990. Okay, nearest 10. 1 decimal place. This is the decimal place. So do I round it off? Do I plus 1? Yes, because it's more than 5. But when I plus 1 here, it's more than that already. I need to plus 1 here. So 1.0. 2 sig fig. Always start from the left hand side. The first sig fig, the second sig fig. Okay, then we check. So we round it off as well. So this will be 0, 0. Okay, plus 1. So 2, 1, 0, 0. 2 sig fig. Write down a prime number between 90 to 100. Oh, this try and error. 91 is not. 92. Oh, you see, whenever you want to check for prime number, right, just straight away check the odd number. Because even number except 2 should not be a prime number except 2. So 91, I can just check 91, 93, 95, 97, and 99. See whether there's any prime number among the odd number or not. 91 is not, no, because 91 can be divided by 7. 93 is not, can be divided by 3. 95 can be divided by 5. 97, I'm not sure. 99 divided by 3. Right? Probably 97 only, right? Check. 97, yeah. 97 is the answer. 97 is a prime number. 2 power of negative 6 as a fractions. Okay, 2 power of negative 6 is the same as this. Whenever you want to get rid of the negative sign, you're going to swap between the denominator and numerator. So swap. Then you have 1 over 2 power 6. And then 64. 2 power 6 is the same as 64. Standard form. Standard form, important thing is the n, the format, the n, sorry, not n, the a. The number here must be between 1, or it could be 1, and less than 10 times 10 to the power of n. That's the format for standard form. So where do you locate the decimal point so that it could be between 1 to 10? Probably here, right? 7.01. So 7.01, 1, 2, 3. Okay, power 3, right? It's negative 3. So this is negative 3. This should be 7.01. 7.01 times 10 to the power of negative 3. Okay, this one. Simplify and give your answer in standard form. You see, basically you can't do this on a calculator because the unknown for the power. So the method here is I'm trying to change this into this first. Okay, if you think about that, 10 to the power of x minus 1 meaning is the same as divided by, okay, let me lop this off first. 10 to the power of x minus 1 is the same as 10 to the power of x divided by 10. Am I right? Power 1. Same thing, right? Okay. And then, if you have 1.5 times this is the same as this, divided by 10, right? No matter where you put the 10, over 10 can be put around here, right? Can be also moved over this side, right? Because when you do this, the value will be the same as this. Make sense or not? I can put it here, I can also put it here. It should be the same value. It doesn't change the original value. But why do I do it this way? Because when I do it this way, when I change to this way, you see, this will become 0.15, right? This will become 10 to the power of x. And you see, they have the same common factor now, right? 10 power of x, 10 power of x. Where I can factorize it, instead of putting it in front of the bracket, I put it at the back of the bracket for 10 power of x, and in the bracket less over the remaining, it should be 1.5 plus 0.15, and with that, this is your final answer in standard form. Okay, next one, 0.37 recurring decimal. You have to understand there's only one dot, meaning digit 3 is not repeated. Okay, dot dot dot. So when it's one digit repeated, I think you must show all your working. Okay, so our working will be as such. We let x to be 0.3777, up to you. How many you want to repeat, right? Just put a dot dot dot. But there's only one digit repeated, 7 only, so you multiply by 10. If there's 2 digit repeated, you multiply by 100. 3 digit repeated, you multiply by 1000. But there's many ways lah. If you times x times 10, it will be 3.777, right? Then how about this slot? Just put another 7, right? Seems is repeated, recurring. And then you put a dot dot dot. You have to understand that why we do this is to get rid of the recurring part, to get rid of this part. Because when you have this minus this, nothing, 0, 0, 0. Okay, just fill up the last slot. So 0, 0, 0, here will be 4. Here will be 9. And what you want is x, right? What you want is change this to a fraction. Okay, put into your calculator. That's the final answer. 17 over 45. Or anything equivalent. Inequality, empty dot, less than, solid dot, less than equal, negative 2, less than x, less than equal 4. Solve the inequality, break it into 2 different parts. Alright, from here you can combine these 2 inequality. That's the final answer. Write down all the integer fulfilling this, including -3, -2, -1, 0 as well, integer, 1 and also 2 but not 3. Okay, solve the equation. Common mistake is student likes to bring 5 and then bring it over. I think the common mistake is they like to bring this over and they say they write something like this. And it's not correct. Why is it not correct? Because the denominator here is over 5, but however, the denominator here is not over 5 but over 1. So you can't bring this 5 to the other side since they have a different denominator. Okay, you can't bring the 5 to the other side, but what can you do is to multiply the whole thing by 5. Then it makes sense. Okay, multiply the whole thing by 5, this will be 15. This will be just the numerator part. This will be 5. Okay, get rid of the bracket, expand it. Collect the right terms. Oh, this should be 15x. Okay, that's the final answer. Fraction equals to fraction. I think we can do cross multiplication, right? Okay, expand it. Collect the like terms. Alright, 500 is the principal, 2% is the interest, simple interest. Calculate the value at the end of 5 years. This is the time. Whenever the value of simple interest, it has to be included, the principal has to be included, not only the simple interest. So the value would be the principal plus the interest, which is principal times interest times the time. Okay, value including the principal. So 500 for principal, 0.02 for 2%, and then 5 years. Okay, so I think you have answer as 550. Okay, question B. Yasmin invests, okay, this is a compound interest. This is the P, this is the interest rate, this is the T or N value, so including the principal. And we already know that for compound interest, the matched value, the equation itself is including the principal. So you don't have to plus the P anymore. It's inclusive of the principal. That will be P 1 plus R over 100 power T. 500 for the principal. Power 5. 2 decimal places for money? That's your answer. If you realize that for Zach and Yasmin, both also started with 500 as principal, right? It's just that Zach go for simple interest, Yasmin go for compound interest. So there will be a comparison. Okay, there will be a comparison. How many more complete year where Yasmin more than Zach investment? So you have to do a little bit of try and error for comparison between a simple and compound interest. This is how it works for simple interest. This is how you apply for compound interest, right? Including the principal. Then only you can compare the value. So that's the years. So you have to try it out for few trial years. So if you put 10 into here and into here, simple interest 600. So after 10 years, 600 for simple, 597 for compound. So it does not fulfill that Yasmin more than Zach, right? Because Yasmin still lesser than Zach. So 10 is not the answer. When you put in 12, 620, 619, still not fulfilling it. That's not the answer. When you put in 13, this is the first year that we have the value for Yasmin, which is more than Zach, right? Slightly more than that, 0.51. So this is the first year. So, but if you want to be on the safer side, put in 14 years. Then you realize that, okay, from 13 years onwards, whatever that Yasmin has for the value for investment, it will be more than Zach after 13 years. So this is the first year that you have more than that. So how many more complete year? 13 years, after 13 years. But the keyword here is more. How many more? So we are comparing after the end of the 5 years. So we will have 13 minus 5. So that will be 8 more years. How many more? Okay, so it will be 8 more years. Okay, now we proceed to this. This is the keyword. Whenever you see exponentially, it's about exponential growth and decay. So exponential growth or decay, we will apply the compound interest formula. So we will still apply the compound interest formula, but it's just that if it's decrease, then we will change this to a negative sign. If it's increasing, then we keep it as positive sign. So you use the same formula, okay? So the original, the starting value, so this is the P. So we have 2005 as P. Interest rate 10%, power 5. Okay, just apply the compound interest formula. What will you get? You should be able to get 1476. Okay, correct to nearest dollar. So you must show, whenever it comes to correct to nearest dollar, don't give the answer like this straight away. Okay, you must show how you correct it. Okay, put one more time. 2500. We must show this first. 1476.225, and from here you correct to the nearest dollar. So this step is very important, in order to get full marks for this. Okay, question C. Okay, again, the keyword exponentially. So compound interest formula, increase. Okay, so what do we have? R is the unknown. After daily, each day, so I can sub this as my T, not in years but in days now. Okay, each day. The number of the bacteria has double. Find the value of T. Have double. It started with P though. If it's double, meaning it will be 2P, right? Double. So that's how you form the equations. Then our objective is to find the value for R. Okay, let's put it in. P. Okay, T, replace it with power 22. Find R. So bring the P over to the other side. And get rid of P. So just 2. Okay. Then power of 22, bring to the other side the root of 22. Okay, find R. Put everything in the calculator. The root of 22 minus 1 times 100, 3.2. Okay, so R equals to 3.2%. Okay, that's the value for R. This is about the time taken of 100 students to eat a pizza, cumulative frequency graph. Find the median. Median stands for 50%. 50% of 100 students, that will be still 50. Read from the y-axis and then try to read the value for the x-axis. It will be 6789, 9.4. Minutes. Interquartile range is the difference between upper and also the lower. The differences between 75% and 25%. 75% of 100 still 75. 75. Okay, so we have 10.4 for upper quartile, lower quartile 25, 6, 7, 8. So we have 8. So it's the difference between 10.4 and 8 minutes, so the interquartile range is 2.4. The number of students taking more than 11 minutes. So you're given the x value, 11 minutes, so you need to find the y value. 11 from the graph. 11 minutes. And after that, rate the y value. Is 82, since it's more than, right? More than 11 minutes, so it's referring to here. Okay, how many students? 82 to 100, 18. So 100 students minus 82, we have 18 students. It takes more than 11 minutes to eat a pizza. Okay, second one, 150 students. This is a record on how far they can throw a tennis ball. Distance in meter. Frequency. Estimate mean. Okay, estimate mean, find the meter value for each category. How do I find the meter value? This one plus this one divided by 2. So 10, 25, 32.5, 40, 52.5. Okay, so you have the meter value for each one, right? Then you have estimated value for mean. So meter value times the frequency, meter value times the frequency. You apply for every single category. Right, so divided by total frequency. You don't have to add up one by one. You should know that it should be 150. Okay, put everything into your calculator. You should have about 34.65. Alright, that's for the mean. Okay, another one. Histogram, drawn the height. Okay, so you have to know the frequency density first. Frequency density, then from there we change it to the height of the bar. Okay, frequency density is, the formula goes with frequency divided by the class width, the difference of the class size. For example, 0 to 20, so 20 minus 0, the class size is 20, 30 minus 20, 10, 5, 10, and also 15, that's the class size. So if I want to find the density, I will have, okay, because since we are given about this information, we look at this first, this category. Okay, so we will have 40, 40, right, frequency, divided by 5, that's the class width, so that will be 8 lah. 40 divided by 5, that will be 8. So for the category of frequency density, if I were to have another column for frequency density, it should be 8. Okay, the frequency density, because 40 divided by 5, right? However, from frequency density, it changes from 8 to 12 to be the height, so that's a skew lah. So 8 to 12 basically is times 1.5, am I right? Yeah, okay. So in order to fill up all the blanks, I think it's best if we can find the frequency density for each category first. Okay, 4 over 20, 0.2, 38 over 10, 3.8, 53 over 10, 5.3, 15 over 15, 1. So everything, every frequency density times 1.5 lah, because the ratio should be fixed. So you have the final answer as 0.3, 3.8 times 1.5, 5.7, 5.3 times 1.5, 7.95, and the last one should be 1.5. Alright. 2 students are chosen at random. Find the probability that both are throw the ball. Okay, we have to find out how many number of students throw more than 45 meters. More than, so more than 45 will be this category. That will be 15 of them. 15 out of how many in total? Still the same question, right? 150 students, okay. 15 out of 150 students. So 2 students, so the probability for the first student, 15 over 150. Probability, and so it's multiplying, and the probability of the second student, because 15 is the total of students have been thrown more than 45 meters, so we minus 1 because one person has been chosen as the first student. So 14 is the 14 because of minus 1. Same thing here. Total will not be 150 already because first student has been chosen, so we have only 149 students to be chosen as overall. Okay, that's the answer. Then you should have 7 over 745 or anything equivalent. Alright, so this is rather straightforward. Vector P, vector Q. So 3Q, just times 3. Times 3 to vector Q. Negative 3 and 3. Yeah, nothing to be discussed, right? P minus Q. So we have P minus Q. 2 plus 1. So we have 3. 3 minus 1. So 3, 2. Final answer. Modulus B. You have to understand what is the meaning for modulus. Modulus stands for magnitude. Like the length of the vector. So we apply Pythagoras theorem. So if you look at P is 2, 3, then A squared plus B squared. Then you find the value for C, which is the magnitude. Okay, so what do we have? Cert 13. Okay, try to leave your answer in decimal after you write down the cert form. and then correct to 3.61. Okay, B is the point. Now, whenever we have coordinates, 2, 7 is always with what do we call it? It's always with respect to the origin, right? It's always referring to the origin. If let's say I have 2, 7 as the coordinate B, right? This coordinate. If I want to form a vector out of this coordinate, it's basically 2, 7, because it's always referring from the origin, right? So from here, you can tell that the vector OB is actually 2, 7. AB is -4, 6, then try to find A. Okay. We try to break it down to more parts from AB. So AB, you can break it down to A to O, and then O to B, right? Still AB, right? Why do we do that? Because we know about OB. So we can have AO plus 2, 7 equals to -4, 6. And then AO equals to -4, 6 minus 2, 7. -6, -1, that is AO. But what I want is OA. So what do? If you want to find OA, that is negative of AO, right? OA equals to negative AO. So OA will be 6, 1. OA 6, 1, coordinate 6, 1. Okay, start from O. That's the answer. Okay. Triangle OGH, M is the midpoint. So if this is OH is H, then this will be 1/2H, 1/2H. And OG is G. The ratio is 5:2. Okay, just put everything into diagram. Find MK. So my idea is, if I want to find MK, one of the ways to actually do MHK. You can see, M to K. So my idea is to find MH plus HK. So I know about MH is 1/2H, but HK I don't know. But what I know is that HK is actually 2 out of 7 of HG. Do you agree? HK equals to 2 out of 7 HG. And do I know about HG? I can figure it out. HG is just negative H plus G. Okay, so HK will be 2/7. So if we expand it, negative 2/7 H plus 2/7 G. Put it back here. This whole thing, you can put it back here. And then you collect the like terms lah. Okay, it's either G or H. We can collect the H. So 1/2 minus 2/7, what do we have? 3/14. 3/14 H plus 2/7 G. This is the final answer. Okay, so this should be your final answer for C. So you will be given fx, gx, hx, and jx, 4 different functions. G 1/2, input 1/2, just put in, nothing to be discussed. So put in 1/2 into x, you have 4. Okay. Hg 1/2, so you put 1/2 into G, you get 4, and then you put the answer here into as an input for H. Alright, you put 1/2 into G, you get 4, and then you put 4 into the input of H. That's it, Hg 1/2. 16. Find the x when fx equals to 7. So this is fx, replace it. Replace fx with 10 minus x. So x is 3 then. Find x when gx equals to h3. Gx, replace with this. 2/x. h3. So put 3 into the x as an input for h function. So 2 power 3. Swap between x and x. One over 4. Okay, find the inverse for jx. 5 minus 2x. Okay. So I put it down here. Jx is 5 minus 2x. Okay. Now try to find the inverse function. So there are steps, but if you know how to do it, you don't have to follow the steps, because first you can let this to be y. Y equals to 5 minus 2x, and you let this be subject. Okay, that's the reverse process, right? You change the subject between y and x. So now the input is as the output, output as the input. So this is basically the function. Okay, so you write this as the J inverse. That's a reverse process, and because it's in terms of x, you have to change it to in terms of x. Okay, write fx and puzzles simplest form. Okay, I think if I write correctly, okay, it's a bit messy here, right? fx is 10 minus x, gx is 2 over x. Okay, so fx is 10 minus x, gx is 2 over x, 1, just 1 as a single fractions. Fraction, not fraction, not fractions, combine as a single fraction, simplest form. So change this to a fractions over 1. And then this one, obviously you can tell 1 is just 1 over 1. So everything with different denominator, 1 denominator, x denominator, change them to the same denominator. The easiest way is change everything to x as a denominator. Don't have to change anything. Now, everything with the same denominator x, combine denominator. But be careful on this part though. Plus 2 plus x. Collect the like terms. I think just the part of these two parts, the like terms. Okay, can you further simplify it? No, I don't think so. That's the final answer. Oh, okay. So this one, you have to differentiate between this and this. They are not the same. They are not the same. See, this is the equation for fx, and you square it. The equation for fx is 10 minus x. So when you square 10 minus x, you will have this 100 minus 20x plus x squared. Okay, that is for this part. So I have squared it. Okay, I'm good. I have squared it. And then for this part is basically you put fx into fx again. So you put 10 minus x into 10 minus x. So fx, ffx, it should be something like this. You put 10 minus x into the x of 10 minus x. So that's how you put it, and then you expand it, and then this part cancel for each other, so this will be x. So this will be same as this. This will be same as this. So I have this minus this. This is my final answer. Compared to ABC, A is 1, B is negative 21, and C just 100, ABC. Okay, find H. Okay, again, I'm going to tell you that, I'm going to show you that Hx is 2 power x. We're not going to do log here, so we're not going to do log here. So I just want you to understand the concept of this. You see, I'll give you a very good example. Okay, if this is just an example, this is just an example. If this is input 2, and your function is x plus 5, 2 plus 5, your output will be 7, right? So in another way, when I put in input as 2, my output is 7. So I can write as g2 equals to 7, provided my function is x plus 5, right? g2 equals to 7. So g2 equals to 7. But when I do a reverse process, this will be my input, this will be my output. So I can write as g inverse 7, I will get back 2. Am I right? g2, 7. g inverse 7, I will get back 2. Makes sense, right? So I just want to prove to you that if you have g2 equals to 7, when I move the g to the other side, it's just a reverse process. It becomes g inverse 7 equals to 2. Same here. If I have h inverse x equals to 10, so when I move h inverse to the other side, it becomes h again. So it becomes h10 equals to x. And I know the value for, I know the function for hx, which is 2 power x. So I just put in the input here into the function, then 2 over 10, 1024 is the value for x. Okay, understand? So meaning to say, if I were to write everything again, h1024, h10. h10 is the same as 1024. And h inverse 1024 is the same as 10. That's the process. First, you need to understand every dimension of the diagram. Make sure you are clear with every dimension of the diagram. So all these are important informations to be labeled into the diagram. The first question goes with, we have to show the angle ACB. This is the angle ACB. We have to show that this angle is the same as 117.5 degree when we correct it to 1 decimal place. So I want you to pay attention to the shaded region. Now the shaded region is a triangle of ABC lay on the horizontal ground, right? Triangle ACB. So from this triangle ACB, the shaded area, this is the diagram. You have every dimensions, 15 meter, 20 meter, and 8 meter. So we have to prove that this angle is the same as 117.5. So what rule do we apply? Cosine rule. Okay, we are going to apply the cosine rule. This is the formula of cosine rule. This is the angle that you look for. So this will be the subject of the equation. So 20 square plus 15 equals to 15 square plus 8 square, and then you put it in accordingly, and then the angle. So have a look on the working. Okay, then we have the final answer as 117.5. Since I mentioned this before, whenever you need to correct something to a certain accuracy, first you need to show that it is 117.5485, and from here you must show your steps corrected to 1 decimal place. So must show this and then this as a final answer. So that's how you show that this angle is 117.5. Alright, cosine rule. Okay, and then once we have the angle here, 117.5 degree, you are required to find the area for this triangle APC. So we apply this formula. Since we know the angle here, we are taking this as the sides. So we put it here. That will be the area for the triangle. Very straightforward. And then the next question, find the length of AQ. Look at the diagram. This is the AQ. So I'll be taking this right angle triangle to figure out the length of AQ. So I'm taking ACQ with 15 and 4 as the length of the side. 15 and 4, so just Pythagoras theorem, nothing to be discussed, I think. Yeah, 15.5 cm or meter, that's it. Okay, now this one, okay. Calculate the angle of elevation of Q from P. This one you need to have a little bit of visualization skill of Q from P. Okay. So basically we're looking at this trapezium. We're looking at this trapezium. So this piece of trapezium basically is placed vertically here. Vertically, you have to imagine and visualize it. This is 4 meter, this is 8 meter, this is 3 meter, and there's another length that we do not know the angle. So if we going to reimagine how this is going to be a trapezium, this is going to be something like this. Okay, this part will be the same as this part. So this is still 8 meter, 3 meter, 4 meter, 3 meter, 4 meter, right? If this is 4, then this will be 3 and 1, right? Okay, so 3, 1, 3. So we are looking for this angle. This is the angle of elevation of Q from P, right? Of Q from P. So we are looking for this angle. Obviously, you can tell that it's actually to do with Socato. So if you look at that, this angle will be the same as, because it will be 8 meter here as well. OA, so I go for tangent, and you have tangent equals to 7.1 degree. Okay, angle of elevations of Q from P. And the last one. The last one is another wire connect from A to the midpoint of PQ. Okay, we draw this line first. Connect from A to midpoint of PQ, then find the angle between the wire and the horizontal ground. Okay, from A, you're going to connect it with a wire to the midpoint of PQ. I let X to be the midpoint of PQ. Okay, as it's easier to be label if I label X as a midpoint for PQ. So this is the wire. Okay, AX is the wire. AX is the wire. So now you need to find the angle between AX and also the horizontal ground, meaning the shaded region. So between a line and a plane, you know that this will be the angle that we're looking for, this angle. So if you want to find angle, you need to figure out a right angle triangle. So this is the right angle triangle with the included angle. So for this right angle triangle, okay, I have laid out this right angle triangle over this side. Okay, you see, okay, how do I know that the length here is 3.5? How do we know? You see, this is a trapezium. This is a trapezium. If this is 3 meter, this is 4 meter, then the one in between must be 3.5 meter. So this one is 3.5 meter. That's the length for XY. Okay, knowing the length of XY wouldn't help you to find the angle here. You need one more length. It's either this or this. And I decided to look for AY. Okay, AY is I do cosine rule. If you look at this triangle, half of the shaded region from here until here only, okay, and then go back here, that is AY, right? So this AY, because I know that this is 15, this is 4, half of 8, right? So 15 and 4, and I know the angle, so I put in 15 and 4, and I put in the angle. I can tell that AY is 17.217. See? Okay, now I have the length of 3.5 and 17.217. To figure out this part, it's just the tangent work, right? So I do the same thing. Tangent theta equals to 3.5 over 217. Hence, okay, see what do we get, Make sure it's in your angle input is in tangent, not in degree, not in radian. So you should have 11.49, so I round it off 11.5 degree. Okay, that is the answer for this one. Alright, we have rectangle A and also rectangle B with unknown X. The first statement, the total area is 20. So this one plus this one equals to 20. That's the equation that you can form. And I think by forming these equations, you arrive at this. Okay, so this times this plus this times this equals to 20. Let's try it out. This is the area for rectangle A, area for rectangle B. When you sum it up, it should be 20. Let's do the working. Okay, we collect the like terms. 3x squared alone. 6x minus 22 equals 0. Okay, so you have proved it successfully. Alright, now the second question is to solve this, to solve a quadratic. Give your answer to 4 significant figure. Whenever you see this correct to 4 significant figure, you know that factorization would work. So if it's not factorization, you have two ways: quadratic formula or complete the square, right? I go for quadratic formula. Okay, you must know your ABC very well. B is the coefficient of x. A is coefficient of x squared, and C is the only constant. Okay, correct your answer to 4 significant figure. So meaning before you correct it, I think it's safer if you show before you convert it to 4 significant figure. Okay, so you have 1.88675. It's always safer to write more before you correct it. Okay, now you correct it. So 4 significant figure, the final answer. Okay, full marks. Find the perimeter of rectangle B. Okay, rectangle B, perimeter. The perimeter for rectangle B is 2 plus 2, 4. X minus 1 plus x minus 1, 2x minus 2, 2 plus 2x. That's the perimeter for rectangle B, 2 plus 2x, right? But can I leave this as a final answer? Of course not, right? You know why? Because we have figured out the value of x over here. So which one do we use? If we put in this, the answer will be positive, right? But if we put in this, the answer will be negative. You can try. I think it will be negative. So this has to be rejected. This is the only solution. Okay, figure it out. What do we get? $5.774. All right. Okay. So another two more rectangle. So I have rectangle of okay. There's few unknown here, There's few unknown here. Show that this equation. Okay, by forming a quadratic equation, because then you must form a quadratic equation. Then by factorizing, you must follow the instruction, find the value for y. Since I can express h as a subject here, because when I have this times this is 15, right? So this as subject, this is my first equation. This one times this one equals to 20. this as subject, this is my equation 2. So I put this, which is this, into here, and I put this into here, equals 1. So that is the way I put it in, equals to 1. And you check this denominator is different, right? So I want to combine it. So the best way is to make it the same denominator. This one times y times y times y minus 2 times y minus 2, 15y, negative 20, negative, be aware of this negative sign. And then this one as well, expand it. Then, then you have something like this and something like this. And y squared minus 2y, bring it to the other side, is multiplied. So you have 1, okay, same thing, nothing changes. And then you rearrange it, you arrive at this. So this is the quadratic equation that you have formed. You follow the instruction, you form a quadratic equation. And then by factorizing the two brackets, you have the answer of negative 8 and 5. And reject negative 8 because y has to be positive, it's a length. So the final answer is just 5. In this diagram, we have a graph with 5 different coordinates. Let's call this as graph 1 with the equation of y equals fx. Alright, that's the first thing that you need to know. The second thing is, look at question 1, part 1, fx equals k. For fx equals k, I want you to know that fx here stands for graph 1 with the equation y equals to fx, graph 1. When it equal to be k, k is another graph known as graph 2 with equation y equals k. So this is graph 1 equals graph 2. So when you do that, it's solving simultaneous equation, finding point of interceptions. And where is this graph 2? If you look at the equation of this graph 2, y equals k, y as a subject, k as a constant, a number. So this is a horizontal line, y equals k. Alright, this is a horizontal line. Now we know that fx equals k has two solutions, meaning two intercepting points. So what could be the possible value of k in such a condition that k must be an integer? So basically they're asking, where is this equation 2, graph 2, horizontal line, where is this horizontal line is going to be located on this diagram so that it intercepts graph 1 at 2 points only. There are many ways, right? Because the horizontal line could be anywhere. But now the condition is it must intercept the graph 1 at 2 points only. So we have to find the value of k. K must be an integer. That is the understanding. Okay, that's how you interpret the question. So I can draw any line as I want, right? But if you use a logical thinking and think about that, if I were to draw a line like this, would it be any intercepting point between graph 1 and graph 2? No intercepting point. So it's not the criteria of 2 intercepting point. You don't accept answer of this, right? You don't accept. So if you slowly think about that, no, this cannot be the answer. Okay, then we come to a point where you draw a line that's like this. It touches the coordinate d, right? So when it touches the coordinate d, what is the k value? What is the equation of this blue color line? We always read the y value, right? And you know that the y value is 3. So this is y equals 3, the equation of this curve. Y equals 3, meaning k is actually 3 in such a way. So does it fulfill the criteria of 2 intercepting point? Nope, just 1 intercepting point. So this could not be k. Okay, k cannot be 3, right? So when you move up, we try another one. Okay, can I try 3.1, 3.2, 3.3? No, it's not an integer. So you don't try any decimal number. So after y equals to 3, the next one that you're going to try out is y equals to 4. Make sense? Integer. So y equals to 4 probably is around here. Could it be answer? When y equals to 4, think about that. Could it be answer? Y equals 4. Yup, bingo. 2 intercepting point only. This could be the answer. But is it the only answer? Let's continue on that. Y equals to 4 could be an answer. If I continue, the next one will be 5. Y equals to 5. Okay, accepted, 2 intercepting point. Next one, 5.5 will be here. Even though there's 2 intercepting point, but it could not be accepted as answer because 5.5 is not integer. So take out 5.5, the next one will be 6. Where is y equals to 6? Probably here, right? It must be lower than this coordinate b because it's 7 here. So y equals to 6. Only 1 intercepting point. Rejected. Okay, y equals to 6 rejected. The next one is y equals to 7. It should be here. Passing through the point being accepted or rejected? 1, 2, accepted. Y equals to 7, accepted. Next one, y equals to 8. Lower than point A because point A is 7.9. Y equals to 8. 1, 2, 3. Oh no, it should be higher than 7.9, right? I'm sorry. 7.9 should be higher than 7.9, maybe probably somewhere here. 1, 2, okay, just 9. So y equals to 8, yes. Y equals to 9, it will be here. Okay, also accepted. Y equals to 10. No, just 1 intercepting point. Okay, so when you look at this, the possible answer could be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Could be 9, could be 8, could be 7, could be 5, could be 4. So 4, 5, 7, 8, 9 could be the answer. So you're okay, could be 4, could be 5, could be 7, could be 8, could be 9, one of them. Okay, just one of the answer. So let's make it 4 if I want to. Okay, the next one. Question 2. Fx equals j, as you know, equation 1. This is equation 2, another horizontal line. No solution, no intercepting point. Where could it be? I think it's very clear. If I to choose y equals to 3, meaning j is 3, there's only 1 intercepting point. No intercepting point, meaning to say it will be anything that lower than 3, right? If I were to draw a line of y equals to 2, no intercepting point. Anything that lower than 3. So j should be less than 3, anything less than 3, or anything more than 10, because if you draw a line here, no intercepting. 11, 10.5, right? No intercepting. So it's anything more than 10 and less than 3. Anything less than 3 or anything more than 10. By comparison, A should be 3, J should be 10. Love. Whenever you see stationary point, meaning it could be maximum or minimum, could be maximum point or minimum point, we do not know. We just know that it's a turning point. Since it's a turning point, the gradient of the turning point will be 0, and dy dx stand for the gradient equations. So we know that dy dx equals to 0. So it's about differentiations. So this is the equation, you differentiate it and let it be 0, find the value for x. Okay, first step, we differentiate it. Okay, so the power bring down minus 1, power bring down minus 1. So 6 bring down, right? And then minus 1. And then 5, 6, 30, x power 4. So this is dy dx once you differentiate it. And we know that dy dx equals 0. So let it be 0. How do we continue from here? How do we find the value for x? There's no way that you can solve this by calculator, right? Because you can't form equation with power 5. You can't solve this in your calculator. So what do? When you can't solve this in your calculator, I think the only way is you factorize it. So look at this. What is the highest common factor? Look at the number first, 6 and 30. What can you take out? 6, right? You can take out 6. So between x5 and x4, highest common factor, x power 4. Okay, so you take out 6x4, remaining x minus 5 equals 0. Why do we do this? Once you factorize it, it's the same as 2 bracket. It's the same as factorizations in quadratics. So there's 2 answers. This one equals 0, first answer. This one equals 0, second answer. 6x power 4 equals 0. X minus 5 equals 0. X power 4 still equals 0 because 0 divided by 6 is still 0. X is 0. X equals 5. So there's 2 solutions. One is 0, the other one is 5. That's for x lah. Then you have to find the y value. So you need to put it back 0 and 5 into which equation? Do we put it back into dy dx or do we put it back into y? Y equation, no careless mistake. So y equals to, when x equals to 0, y equals to 0. When x equals to 5, all right, that's it.